MM3, Standing by the Window. Now, Mike, we kind of skipped right over it, but man, welcome back to the show.
It's great to be back. Thanks for having me.
So I remember last time we were talking about Owl, because the album was in works at the time. That was about 3 or 4 months ago. But how does it feel to have the finished product finally done?
It feels really good, you know. I actually have some CDs printed up. It's nice to actually hold a CD in your hand and go, "Wow, I did that."
Right on. I can imagine the feeling. Now, I'm going to pass the mic over here to Nolan and Catherine because I'm doing a lot of talking and I know they want to get some questions in. So, guys, go ahead.
Oh, gosh, and Nolan just actually had to leave the room to put the dog out, but he'll be right back. I have to say, I know what you mean about having the CD actually in your hand. You know, it's one thing to have it digital, but to actually have that product, it really feels like you accomplished something. You know, it's just such a cool feeling. Let's see. Questions for you. I actually listened to our previous interview, so we'll probably ask you some of the same questions, but let's see.
Okay.
Just a minute. Nolan will be right back.
No, that's fine. But yeah, Mike, I listened to this whole album through a few times and I'm very pleased with it. And now, Standing by the Window, we've heard a few times. And I wanted to ask you about the inspiration behind the song because, I mean, from what I gather, again, this is my personal opinion, right? I mean, besides the film production, it went very well. With the lyrics in general, how it kind of just, it's almost, is it pretty much about kind of watching time pass by, kind of maybe missing out on things?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the lyrics could, you know, I try to leave them open-ended enough so that they can be interpreted pretty much any way somebody wants to interpret them.
Right.
But those lyrics kind of funny. I'm not really sure I want to say this, but yeah, these are actually really kind of creepy lyrics. I write a lot of kind of dark, disturbed stuff, and this is basically a song about a stalker.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently I was way off.
Well, I mean, like I said, leave it open-ended enough so if somebody can interpret it another way that's a little more positive, and but yeah, it was. There was just like one particular lyric I came up with. It's like, wow, that's kind of creepy, and but in the, you know, and I think the song can go off in this direction where it turns into being about, you know, a stalker. But I'll have a follow-up song where the guy gets arrested and put in jail. So we have a happy ending.
Oh,
I don't think you have to change anything about it. And I just have to say, honestly, this is one of my favorite songs. I listen to this a lot, and I just think it's a perfect song.
Oh, awesome! Thank you.
Musically and lyrically, I mean, it just has everything. I just think it's really a strong track.
And Nolan, you're back.
Nolan, you're back.
Yeah, I don't know what I meant. Sorry.
I'm talking about you.
Oh, again?
No.
No, I agree with Catherine. That's a great song, Mike. I love your guitar tones on there. Very well done.
Thank you, Nolan. Thank you.
Right on. So what we're going to do here is, since that was on the comp and it's the 5th song on the album, we're going to start from the top here. So we're pretty much going to go track by track here. And we're going to get to the next one, which I played a few times, and I'm pretty sure I played it on my ISX show as well. And this one's called Married to My Madness, which is one of my favorites. Dig this. MM3, Married to My Madness, and that's the brand new album, Observational Alchemy. Now, Mike, this song I just played in the Bones and Beat Banter Hour on Thursday, and I'll make the same comments I did because, I mean, it was a great tune. I love the 80s kind of soloing at the end, and like it encompassed the grunge scene and era. That's why I like it so much. And actually, a guy's listening right now. He's from a band called Grasscutter in Newcastle, England. And the one of the comments he made is it was with a bottle of Nirvana.
Yeah, I saw that. The way you described the song before, I mean, just sums it up perfectly, especially the guitar solo at the end, which was kind of subconsciously put together like that. But growing up around that type of music, I mean, you can't help but be influenced by the 80s, tapping guitar solos. I mean, it's fun to do.
Absolutely. You know what? And
yeah, I read that comment and from Grasscutter there, and he mentioned something that, it was a dash of REM, and I think Depeche Mode, which I found pretty fascinating, and then a bottle of Nirvana.
It's just, I'll give for just 1 second here, guys. But the one thing when you were talking about tapping, Mike, is that's essentially what I said on the Bones and Beat Banter, and I was actually explaining how you tap a solo riff.
What's that?
I said I was explaining on the Bones and Beat Banter Hour about the tapping with a solo, and I pretty much explaining to someone how to do it.
Yeah.
So, Catherine Nolan?
Go ahead.
Yeah, Mike, again with the very dark lyrics. What is there a story behind this one as well?
No, not personal per se, but just another dark lyric type song, because that's kind of the stuff I'm into. So that's I'm actually really a kind of happy-go-lucky type of person, but that's just that's just kind of like the type of music I like. And my wife a couple of weeks ago said something like, "Boy, it's like everything you write is always so morbid." Yeah, you get a point.
But you know what?
I've never heard that one before. Actually, I just had a comment. So this is the opening track on the album, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so it really sets an interesting tone, and I don't want to give away the rest of the album. I kind of noticed as I was listening to it, to me it had 3 distinct sections to it. Was that by design, or is that just something I picked up on?
No, not really. I definitely wanted to do the light and shade type thing, the heavy chorus and clean verse. And then it's always nice to be able to throw a bridge in there too.
Right.
So that was kind of a conscious thing too, to just have something to break it up before going into the solo. So that's kind of how that came about. Yeah.
I guess I was talking about the actual album in itself. I noticed that it sort of has an arch to it.
Oh, the album itself. Okay, I thought you meant the song.
No.
You know what? That's definitely something that was unconscious then. I haven't even noticed that myself, that it's kind of like 3 different. But now that I think about it, it starts off with some pretty rockin' stuff, and it mellows out a little bit, and then goes into more experimental type stuff.
That's exactly what I thought. And it's such a cool effect. Yeah.
You know what? Every time I come on here, you guys tell me something about my music I never noticed before. Brian pointed out the solo before, and how it was 80s meets 90s. And you just pointed out the album, how it's in 3 distinct, parts.
Yeah.
Well,
no, I thought it was probably on purpose because it just fit beautifully.
Well, thanks. It wasn't by design. It kind of was, I wanted a type of a flow to it, but I never realized that it worked out better than I thought. Another eureka moment.
There you go.
Well, that's the thing is, well, things with all three of us, we like to dissect the music, but in a good way, like not like tear it apart, like gently, and explaining why we think about certain parts of the song, why we think of it this way, that sort of thing. But that's what we'd love to do, and that's what makes it so easy sometimes. And it's nice to hear when you're saying, "Wow, you know what? I didn't even think about that."
Yeah, that's great.
So we're going to take a quick little break here, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes, and we'll get to some more of the new MM3 album, Operational Alchemy. So we'll be back with Mad Andersons and our special guest Mike Mahar from MM3 Band. Until then, Bones out. We'll be right back.